Today we'll deal about management and leadership theories. This presentation is prepared by Gelila International Seminary. My name is Teferi, I'm a senior pastor, and I'm a PhD candidate. So, in today's lesson, we'll see part one of management and leadership theories. In this part, we will cover the basic contents in the chapter as much as the time given. Contents, first introduction and then definition of management and definition of leadership, perspectives on organizations, division of labor, author studies, emphasis on people, classification of systems, balance and coordination, define leadership, situational leadership theory, idiosyncrasies, basis of social power, Machiavellianism, response to authority, citizen leadership, leader-member exchange, and managerial roles. In this management and leadership theories course, we'll deal about basic perspectives of the field. Different theories may have numerous importance. In spite of tremendous views might be available, some will be preferable. So we have to try to cover all the suggested truths regarding the course. First, we have to see the definition of management. What is management on the context of the course? According to Henry Fair, management is a process of plan, organize, command, coordinate, and control. It is a multi-purpose organ that manages business and manages managers and manages workers and work. Peter Drucker says this. In the other perspective, it deals how business organizes and direct workflow, operations, and employees to meet company goals. The next definition of leadership. There are numerous definitions, some of them. It is helping people to succeed. It's inspiring and uniting people. It is mobilizing people toward vision, creating emotional bonds and harmony, influencing behavior change, and so on. Leadership is a process of influencing the activities of an individual or a group in an effort toward goal achievement in a given situation. Please page 7 on your margin. Leadership is about vision, direction, and movement. In the initial stage of the course, we have the point, perspectives on organizations. First, we have to see the division of labor. According to Smith's perspective, if physical tasks continually repeated, then the body learns automatically perform the motion. He called workers dexterity. He encourages team tasks instead of independent performance or work of individuals. As Smith sees as division of labor as source of productivity and prosperity. See your module on page 1. Smith described the making pins involved drawing out, straightening, cutting, and whitening wire, grinding pointers, and making and attaching heads to the wire. Several distinct operations were also required to make the heads. Complete pins also had to be bundled and packaged. In total, about 18 distinct tasks were required to make pins. In Smith's perspective, physical tasks continually repeated, then the body learns automatically perform the motion. He called workers dexterity. He encouraged team tasks instead of independent performance. His perspective was team-based, team-oriented attitude he had. The other one, Hawthorne studies. It is about focus on efficiency. It recognized the importance of paying attention to human needs and making workers feel valued. The study was supported employee behavior-oriented strategy for managing employees' efficiency. But you know that workers are human resources. That is the most important parts of an organization. In the early 1900s, workers were viewed as operators equivalent to nation operations. Companies planned to maximize their output by minimizing the inputs simultaneously. See page 2 of your module. In Hawthorne studies, the theories used to structure organizations and jobs through the Industrial Revolution and into the early 1900s were also very focused on efficiency. Companies wanted to maximize organizational output and simultaneously minimize the inputs to produce those outputs. In manufacturing, jobs were studied and tasked released so that each worker performed only a few distinct operations. With every worker in a factory doing one or two things over and over, workers became very efficient in their productions. So, companies plan to maximize their output by minimizing the inputs simultaneously or at the same time. In its perspective, performance was studied across the entire series of experiments. Researchers found that performance rose across each experimental condition, even once giving workers longer breaks and shorter work hours. So, the point is focused on emphasis on the people. Ignoring the workers' high-level need will bring numerous consequences. So, we have to value on the people. We have to acknowledge. We have to recognize the people. So, Starbucks coffee, for example, one of the examples which gives enough emphasis on the workers. He has due its workers efficiently, which gives enough emphasis on the workers. So success based on employees' trust, appreciation, and proper handling is very important. Workers are viewed as parts of production machine. Nobody had them before the organization. It is sad. Workers or human resources is the vital important parts of the company or the organization. So, perspective on workers needed transformation. So, we have to transform our attitude, our conscience, our perspective on the workers or human beings. Emphasis had to be inclined to people than tasks. So, we have to be people-oriented than task-oriented. Other one, systems. A set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, or an organized scheme or method. Systems is a composition of interdependent parts that are arranged in a particular order to accomplish a purpose. See page 4 of your module. It has different systems. Example, the digest system of human have different parts, mouth, tongue, esophagus, and also Kenneth Baldwin classification of systems. He divided the classification of systems into different parts. The first one is framework. In the framework, he put the picture frames, tables and chairs, or front place materials. The next one, it is a complex, too complicated issues. He mentioned clockwork, like solar system and all the method. Then it's a control. Controls like thermostat. And the other one, cell. Most basic form of life is cell. Next, it goes to plant, life and mutually dependent parts. They depend one each to the other. The other, animals, is relatively different to the plant, and self-awareness and abilities to learn. It different from plants. The next one, human. Human beings is greater than animal. It is the best stage. In this part, he mentioned self-consciousness and self-awareness. You cannot find this in animal or on plant. The other one, social part. In this part, groups of individuals with their roles. We have found teams, organizations, and so on in this part. The next one, transcendent. This ultimate set of knowledge and truth. The transcendental ultimate sets of knowledge and truth, he mentioned as this part. On your module, please see page 5 to 6, systems, balance and coordination. It looks like as a football team, individuals have different roles. There are different responsibilities. There is different players like the lineman, attacker, goalkeeper, it's it. But once loses will harm the whole members. So one of the individual mistake will attack or destroy the team points as well. So the same is also true the success. Success is based on individuals and grow to the teams. The team success depends on individuals overcoming. All organizations are systems. Systems are purposeful and are simultaneously made up of subsystems and parts of supersystems. Page 6 of your module. The next one, why leadership? We need the importance of leadership. What is the main importance or uses of leadership? Effective organization need effective leadership. Leadership is about vision, mission, direction, and movement. So the Bible says, people without vision will perish, it says. So we have to vision. Leadership has a matter of visionaries. So effective captains guide effective ships. Effective pilots guide effective planes. Effective leaders also build effective work teams. Page 7 of your module. So leadership and management goes parallel. It looks like as the same uniform, but it has different parts, different ideas. Managers are planners and organizers. You know that the manager is a task-oriented person. His main responsibility is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. A leader may not be a manager. A leader provides vision and inspiration for them. This is the unique character of a leader. Leaders support and lift up teammates. They can communicate easily. Leaders easily organize teams, easily lead the teams of the organization because they have the capacity or the gift of influence. They can easily lift up teammates. They can easily communicate their goals. So effective organization require effective management and leadership. So we need management and we need leadership. Two of them are different ideas. On our module on page 9, leadership is a particular type of authority. Leadership without power is nothing, so it has a particular type of authority relationship. A few types of leadership expression influence. The basic unique distinction of leadership from management is it is part of behavior. This presentation is prepared by Gelila International Seminary. We'll continue. A few types of leadership expression influence: admiration, respect, charisma. You know the charisma, the gift from above, which is it may be natural gift or it may be spiritual gift. Expertise. Leaders who are influencing others by using their personal power called informal leaders. Informal leaders influence others by using their personal power. Formal leaders possesses those personal power and position power simultaneously. According to a Zen says, a Zen perspective. So formal leaders possesses both position power and personal power. And personal power possesses only personal power. So they lead informal ways, and the position power holder of leaders, they lead simultaneously formally and informally as a personal power. True leadership always not dependent on position. Instead, it is rooted in personal power. So the main ground of leadership is personal power. If anyone has a personal power of leadership, he can lead easily informal leaders. Define leadership. Formal and informal leaders, as we mentioned earlier. See your module on page 9. Define leadership, authority and leadership. Authority is power that is vested in a certain position. So leader without authority is nothing. So he has authority. It's vested in a position. Leadership is influence. But there are different approaches to influence. First, there is pullers, pulling approach of leadership. They influence by walking in front of the group. You walk in front of the group, so the crowd or the people can easily follow him. Influential traits there. So pullers have very influential traits or behaviors. The second one, ways of approach of leadership is pushers. They push from behind. This shows the availability of threats, coercion, and intimidation. So the crowd or the team follows them based on threats, based on coercion, based on punishment, based on intimidation, not easily follow him. So true leadership has to be earned in the eyes, minds, and hearts of the followers. So if anyone become a true leadership, followers can easily see him, can easily understand him, can easily follow him. The other one is the situational leadership theory on page 11 of your module. There are two types of leadership traits. These are task-oriented and people-oriented. Task-oriented, as the term states, they focused on their tasks, and people-oriented, their focus was people. And two types of behaviors rely on. The first one, initiating structure, refers direction, goal, facilitation, task-related feedback, well-defined patterns of organization, and procedure. So they have to initiate them, the direction, the goal, the facilitation, the task-related feedback, well-defined patterns of organization, and they have to focus on the procedure. Second one, consideration. Consider the way or the position now. Refers behavior stressing friendship, mutual trust, respect, interpersonal warmth, and participatory communications. So they have to consider the crowd, the people, the team, they follow. The other term leadership, universal leadership. It refers best style of leadership which require the combination of high task and high people behavior. They highly oriented on their task, and at the same time they highly focused on people. So this is universal leadership approach. It is the best style of leadership requires consistent amendments. We need consistent amendments. Still now, we have no perfect, we have no absolute type of leadership. We have to nurture, we have to develop the theories, the approaches, the perspective. We need re-examine and refining actions according to some researchers. Page 11 of your module. 4 approaches have in this area. Blanchard and Hersey clarifies this. The first one, high task, low people approach. It needed when followers unable and unwilling to perform tasks. When people become weak in their performance, we need high task and low people approach leadership. We have to push in this way. The second one, high task, high people approach. When followers increase in maturity, when the people or the followers increase in their maturity, day-to-day upgrade idea and the life of them, we have to approach the second one, high task, high people approach. We have to focus on the people. At the same time, we have to focus on our task of leadership. The third one, low task, high people approach. We have to implement this approach when get good situations of participation. When the group or the team looks participatory engagement, we have to act the third approach, low task, high people approach. We need decline our task-oriented approach, and we need increasing the high people, or we concentrated on the people. The fourth one, low task, low people approach. When delegation would be active, we have to apply this approach. Low task, declining task approach, and low people, declining focused people approach. The other one, idiosyncrasy credits. Idiosyncrasy credits on our module, see page 12 of your module. Idiosyncrasy credits refers to interpersonal credits, a minority gains by going along with the majority. So these are credits a person earns over time by conforming to group norms. If enough idiosyncrasy credits are earned, this is the psychological value. The person can or occasion behave differently without retribution from the group. Erwin Hollander's explanation for the leniency group sometimes display toward high status members who violate group norms. So idiosyncrasy credits earned through demonstrate competence and shared value. So we have to recognize their value. We have to recognize their overtime trials. We have to recognize by conforming the group norms. So idiosyncrasy credits, we need to manage them. Basis of social power. Power refers the ability to influence. Influence also shows change. See page 13 on your module. In the organization, there are coercive, reward, and legitimate parts. So according to the term, we have to understand the 3 approaches: reward-oriented approach, coercive-oriented approach, and legitimate-oriented powers. When compliance and obedience require, coercive power may be needed. Where the people or the follower do or live in an obedient manner, we have to use the coercive approach or the coercive power of approach. The next one, Machiavellianism. See your module on page 14. Machiavellianism, derived from Niccolo Machiavelli, an Italian person. He was born in 1469 at Florence, Italy. He mentioned the source of misusing power. The causes of leaders abusing power arise from the personal presumed gain. The areas of power include manipulation, cheating, and immoral attitudes at all. Richard Christian Florence Gage derived a test of Machiavellianism by two ways: the term high marks and low marks. High marks, high test scores in deceitfulness, manipulation, and cynicism. When a person has amount of deceiving power, his Machiavellianism power also increased. So, regardless of their position, their title, if someone can deceive any person in the group, in their organization, he has high Machiavellianism or high march Machiavellianism. Low marks, more lives, submissive, charming behavior. Some employees or members or workers will have moral lives, will have submissive lifestyle, will have charming behavior. So they have at the same time low marks of Machiavellianism. So Machiavellianism attitude is a mark of someone deceiving icons, an icon of deceiving, deceitfulness, an icon of cheaters, and so Machiavellianism is a personality trait, a personal behavior that denotes cunningness, the ability to be manipulative and drive to use whatever means necessary to gain power, to gain authority. Machiavellianism is one of the traits that forms a dark child, along with narcissism and psychopath. Some persons may have a very severe and an extreme behavior, like narcissist. He loved himself, more love for his personal intentions. Some politicians, some organizational leaders, some institutional CEO or executive directors will have this type of behavior. Machiavellianism, a personal trait, a trait of narcissism, a trait of self-consciousness, negative self-consciousness. The other point in response to authority, see the module on page 15. For the sake of obedience, we never okay for all things. So we have to know to say the area of yes or the area of no. We never okay for all things. We have to say no for unnecessary powers, unnecessary obligations, unnecessary ideas, unnecessary commissions. Saying no is not a sin and a crime, despite we have a truth. So we have to truth-oriented perspective. Saying yes for all unreasonable things will also bring bad consequences. So we have to know that. We need to say no for all things. We need not say for all things. We have to balance. We have to discern. We have to the demarcation of our response. Perceptions of status, power, and authority can sometimes lead to low-level participation. The Milgram studies stated or mentioned this. Perception of status, power, and authority can sometimes lead to low-level participation. If any authority goes blindly without question, nothing can cease to happen, bad things. So we have to know the consequence of our response. Nothing will go without question. We have to raise questions, we have to confront them, we have to check and balance them. So we need that. Citizen leadership. This is also the important perspective of leadership theory. As we mentioned earlier, there are different approaches or different perspectives of leadership. Citizen leadership is an activity. It happens when citizens have power and influence and responsibility to make decisions. Citizen leadership happens when individuals have some control over their own services. It also happens when citizens take action for the benefit of other citizens. So we need to know that. As stated earlier, there are different leadership theories. A leadership theory describes how and why certain individuals became leaders. The focus is on the characteristics and behaviors that people can adopt to enhance their leadership ability. According to leaders, strong ethics and high moral standards are essential qualities of a good leader. So we have to know that. Although leadership word commonly used in all organizations, but it is less practiced. Citizen leaders put their causes ahead of themselves and work relentlessly to solve problems. When we summarize the above idea, we have to know that different perspectives and some perspectives will prevail for the other perspectives. The other one, servant leadership. See your module on page 70. It is serving and meeting the needs of people, the idea coined by Robert Greenleaf. The famous man on his approach or the perspective of servant leaders. Servant leaders desire the people holistic growth. A servant leader relationship with his followers is like parent-child relationship. It is the fatherhood approach. It is the best and the biblical approach. The success of servant leaders comes from serving the needs of others. It is concentrated on the needs of others. Not the leader, not the power, not the task. It is specifically focused on for the serving the needs of others. The servant leadership style is based on the idea that leaders prioritize serving the greater good. Leaders with this style serve their team and organization first. They don't prioritize their own objectives. They based on the idea, prioritization of the service. That's the greater good. Leaders with style serve their team and organization first. The team have to be first, and the organizations have to be first. So, leader-member exchange on page 18 of your module. It is George Grant's theory that shows a distinction between members. The theory refers to the relationships that the leader makes among the group. It means that he has a special relationship with some members while he has an ordinary relationship with other members. Leader-member exchange, LMX theory, describes the process of developing a lasting, strong connection of trust, liking, and mutual respect. Having such a high-quality relationship with a leader increases the team members' job-related well-being and effect. In this chapter 1 of our course, Management and Leadership Theories, we have different approaches. We have tried to discover on some parts of perspectives. In the next chapter 2 of our course, we'll see the rest and the remaining parts of the course. Thank you for this discussion.